Australia, a vast country of breathtaking natural beauty, teeming with extraordinary and iconic animals. Meet the kangaroos. With their long forelegs, distinctive bouncing gait, and babies carried in pouches, they are the most successful and sociable of the species known as marsupials. These kangaroos, called eastern greys, populate the woodland, pasture and forests of the eastern side of Australia. And their lives are full of surprises. Petty squabbles and big boy brawls. Companionship and social climbing. Patient parenting and the bounciest babies of all. This is the secret life of the kangaroo. It's dawn in Sundown National Park, a 157 square kilometre area of woodland and open pasture on the border of Queensland and New South Wales, Australia. Eastern grey kangaroo Enid and her joey Ella are preparing to leave the forest where they've spent the night. They've been named by researchers who are documenting the lives and social behaviour of the 300 kangaroos living here. Ella is an at-foot joey, no longer in her mother's pouch, but still dependent on her mum. Out on the pasture where they feed, another joey, Josie, is taking milk from her mother, Julia. As marsupials, kangaroos have pouches with mammary glands where they raise their young. Josie will have spent 9 months in her mum's pouch before starting to spend time on the ground. She'll gradually start to forage, but will also still feed from her mother until she's fully weaned at 18 months. Mum and Joey may look relaxed, but Josie is still vulnerable. An at-foot joey is not easily able to defend herself from attack, and she still needs her mother for protection. Julia needs to be on her guard and keep a constant eye on what's around her. But Mother and Joey are far from alone. They have protection all around them. Julia will be making sure that they're never too far away from their wider group of eastern grey kangaroos, known as a mob. For kangaroos, a mob is like their social network. It's a fluid arrangement where anything between 2 and 100 animals cluster together to feed. Members will come and go as they please, constantly shifting, even from hour to hour, depending on the availability of food. Kangaroos don't necessarily live in family groups, but males and females are part of the same mob, and females who are related often stay close to each other. As well as mums and joeys, there will be a number of males who compete with each other for mating rights. Here there's teenage boy Barney, who's not quite mating yet, but stands showing off by trying to look as big as he can. And nearby Cyclops, a distinctive-looking young male. He's got a damaged eye, but this doesn't affect his ability to vie for dominance. This casual group, in fact, has benefits for all of them. Grouping together gives the mob greater security against predators. Kangaroos, and in particular young joeys, are at risk of being attacked by snakes, birds of prey, foxes, and dingoes. Australia's apex predator, the dingo, is a keen hunter, and a kangaroo on its own can be an easy target. A dingo can conceal itself in the undergrowth, then move at high speed. Its powerful jaws can take out a vulnerable joey in moments. Feeding out on the open pasture, the kangaroos never know what threat could be lurking nearby. As foraging herbivores, they all need to eat for many hours each day to get enough nutrition from the grasses. So group protection is essential to maximise feeding time. The kangaroos can collectively use their strong sense of hearing for danger, frequently raising their heads to check. It's called shared vigilance. The group relies on all its members keeping alert to enable them all to feed more safely. Adolescent Barney may be showing off, but he's also got a keen eye on what's going on around him. He's part of the bubble of awareness the mob sets up for safety. Researchers here define any animals within 15 metres of each other as being part of the same mob. Within that space, the kangaroos will react to each other's movements, alerting others to danger. Female kangaroo Stripes stops chewing and raises her head, a sign that she's on high alert. Kangaroo eyesight is poor, but Stripes has excellent hearing and can swivel her ears in different directions without moving her head. Stripes is the first to move. As soon as one kangaroo bolts, it triggers a mass departure, and all of them take off at speed. Kangaroos are the only large animals to use hopping as a means of locomotion, and eastern grey's powerful hind legs can propel them at up to 64 kilometres an hour. So the mob can quickly scarper from open grassland to the protection of the woods nearby. Adult kangaroos instinctively trust the safety of the mob. But joeys testing out their independence can pose a challenge for their mothers. It's mid-morning and Julia's peacefully feeding with her joey Josie nearby. Josie is distracted by two other kangaroos greeting each other. Kangaroo kissing is thought to be a sign of social acceptance. Curious Josie doesn't wait for her mother. Within seconds, Josie is out of Julia's immediate gaze, and now she's at risk. On a nearby tree, there's a large goanna, a carnivorous reptile almost a metre long, and with sharp teeth and claws. It can unhinge its lower jaw to make easy prey of a joey of this size. Reproductive females are often the most vigilant kangaroos. Julia is quick to realise that Josie has moved too far for safety. She springs into action. This time, Josie's lucky. And now, Julia is staying close. While kangaroos are always alert to danger, a mob can learn to adjust its behaviour depending on the level of threat. The Anglesea Golf Course, south of Melbourne, is home to a large colony of around 250 eastern greys, who make good use of the well-kept greens. And don't seem too troubled by the presence of golfers. Among the Anglesea kangaroo population are 5-year-old male Captain, 4-year-old female Tenee, and Tenee's 1-year-old Joey. Tenee is one of a number of kangaroos being monitored on the golf course, so she wears an identity collar. Although, like the rest of the mob, Captain and Tenee are completely wild kangaroos, they have learned to live in close proximity to humans and flying golf balls. These grassy spaces give the kangaroos excellent grazing, and the lack of cover means fewer predators too, so the mob can forage for longer. Scientists have been studying the mob behaviour of these kangaroos, and they've discovered that Captain and Tenee are very unusual. They appear to be a couple. Usually after mating, the male has little to do with either the female or any offspring, and males will often move between different mobs in search of new mating partners. But Captain and Tenee are constantly together. Captain is most likely the father of Tenee's at-foot Joey. As well as the next Joey that is clearly visible in Tenee's pouch. tight little family unit like this is rarely seen in kangaroo mob society. Their behaviour could be the result of the protective environment of the golf course. And it seems that they look out for each other more than wilder kangaroos would. Tani has been separated from the mob by researchers who want to give her a health check. Captain and the joey watch anxiously. Sensing potential danger, Captain leads the joey away from the golf course. The joey sticks close. And Captain seems to be keeping an eye out for the young kangaroo, something a large male would never normally do. They end up in the playground of a nearby school. They seem unsettled without Tani. Captain sticks with the joey until he deems it safe to return to the green. And this unconventional family group is reunited. Back at sundown, Stripes appears to be ill. She's an older female, but still has another joey just visible in her pouch. She's lying with her head on the ground. In this position, she can't be vigilant for possible danger. It's a telltale sign that something is wrong. She seems to be cold, wrapping her arms around herself to keep warm. One of Stripes' regular mob mates, Naomi, lies beside her. While mobs are fluid arrangements, kangaroos can show social preferences, and females in particular can form bonds with others. Naomi's presence gives some protection to Stripes while she's laying low. Kangaroo mobs are not territory-based, but many female kangaroos like Stripes and Naomi will stick to a regular feeding area of around 15 hectares, known as a home range. This may widen depending on how much food and water are available. Sticking to a home range ensures that the kangaroos can draw on experience to optimise the time and energy needed to forage. Mobs are often made up of kangaroos whose home ranges overlap as part of the wider social network. But that doesn't mean that all their social interaction is friendly. Females don't have a hierarchy, but those that are more assertive can gain access to better food or space. Or in high temperatures, areas of shade. As a new dawn breaks over sundown, Delilah is searching for the best spot to forage. Arriving at the edge of the forest, she reacts at the sight of another kangaroo who's already there. Aggression between kangaroos is often vocal. A female will growl if another kangaroo who's not one of her usual mob mates tries to feed too near to her. Delilah growls. To enforce the point, she gives chase. A cough is the kangaroo's sign of submission. The other kangaroo's retreat means that Delilah has won the feeding spot. Meanwhile, male kangaroos have a much more obvious dominance hierarchy than females, based around size and their ability to win mates. Males will move around more, and some of the largest males are only seen at sundown during peak breeding season. Younger males will vie for supremacy, trying to work their way up the pecking order. As they reach their adolescent years, they will gradually move further away from their mum's home ranges and will spend more time checking out females. Larger stature indicates higher rank. Barney and Cyclops haven't yet reached the big beefy standard of full-blown adult males. But they'll certainly take every opportunity to show the others that they mean business. Standing tall, called a high stand, is a primary show of dominance. While ostentatious scratching is another show of power. The males will keep a close eye on each other. And when one tries a move on the females, another will use aggression to warn him off. Early morning, and adolescent male Xavier is in the forest with a young female. Males will often cluck at female kangaroos to show their interest. He's not quite big enough to mate yet, but that won't stop him trying. So he sticks close to her, clucking wherever she goes. These kangaroos are part of a mob that heads over to the dam. Kangaroos are well adapted to go several days without drinking in the hot, dry summer. But when more water is available during the cooler months, they'll drink regularly. Cyclops is also drinking at the waterhole. And he's tense. It's windy, which makes the kangaroos nervous. It means they're less able to hear other sounds which could alert them to danger. To add to his tension, Cyclops has spotted Xavier wooing the female. Both males are of similar stature, so Cyclops could challenge him for the female's attention. Xavier launches a fresh round of clucking. Cyclops moves to assert his dominance. He barks loudly at Xavier. Cyclops' aggression is enough to establish dominance, and Xavier retreats. He moves to a safe distance from Cyclops. who stands guard to keep him away. She may not be ready to mate either of them, but Cyclops is still going to practice his power play. Having won her grazing spot earlier, Delilah is taking some time to groom, checking for ticks, which can embed themselves in her fur. But as soon as she sets off in search of more foraging, she's quickly got another young female in her sights. Delilah moves in, threatening her with growls. But aggression like this doesn't always pay off. When the other kangaroo stands her ground, Delilah gives up. She simply has to continue her feeding with another kangaroo nearby. Male and female kangaroos might fight over different things. But when food sources get scarce, the aggression between all of them can intensify. It's dusk, and the mob has descended on an area of soil rich in salt and minerals, known as a salt lick. While the kangaroo's diet is mostly grass and plants, they nibble the soil in these pits to replenish the nutrients they need. Kangaroos are unable to sweat, so in summer they lick their arms. The evaporation of their saliva helps shed excess body heat. This could lead to salt deficiency. There is little salt in grass, whereas the soil in these pit areas has been found to be high in salt, sulfur, and magnesium. But there are only 2 areas like this in Sundown, meaning that the licks can be fiercely contested, especially as there's only room at each pit for 1 or 2 at a time. And once a kangaroo has got control of a salt lick, aggression clearly pays. Delilah has got the best position in the centre of the salt pit. She's older and slightly bigger than the other females. And by adopting an aggressive stance and growling whenever they attempt to approach, she can prevent the others from feeding at the same time, ensuring all the more for herself. This is not due to a hierarchy. Researchers here have noticed that some kangaroos simply have more assertive personalities, and that older females in particular can be more intolerant of others. The other female's failure to retreat fully prompts Delilah to escalate her aggression. Batting the others away proves an effective strategy. Delilah's repeated domineering behaviour ensures that the more submissive kangaroos don't retaliate. Her intimidation of the others means she can keep the salt lick all to herself. At the other pit, Josie is trying to feed from Julia. By growling and batting her Joey away, Julia could be signalling that she wants Josie to wean. Over at Delilah's pit, her domination of the lick is proving short-lived. This kangaroo is refusing to be deterred by Delilah's scare tactics. Proof that standing up to a bully can pay off. Out on the pasture, things are more peaceful. Stripes is on the mend. She's back on her feet. Mothers groom their joeys in preparation for the night ahead. And the other members of the mob get in their last grazing before dark. They'll spend the night in the forest, sleeping and then foraging in the early hours. But as nightfall approaches, the struggle at the salt lick shows no sign of dying down. And when males join in the action, the dynamic quickly shifts. Cyclops joins Delilah's pit, and she defers to him. at Julia's pit. Her irritation at her Joey's repeated attempts to suckle is mounting. This time, Josie gets a smack before Mum calls it a night. Delilah wastes no time in moving in on the vacated space. Cyclops might be able to dominate the females, but another male is watching from the sidelines. Barney. His growls as he approaches show that he's exerting his authority and expects submission. Cyclops' attempts at getting rid of him are futile. Shaking his ears is a way of showing he means business. Cyclops retreats to join Delilah on the sidelines. But once Barney's asserted himself as top kangaroo, he's willing to let others feed from his pit. And some of the other females get their chance at last. Life as a kangaroo is full of surprising dangers, dramas, risks and rows. But at the end of the day, and away from the salt licks, calm is restored. The kangaroos can return to the safety of the forest. And a quiet night ahead of them as peace-loving, grass-munching herbivores once more.